the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Justice have begun for two children killed by their mother in Hopkins County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the three people you see on your screen. The key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Vow. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
They are back out there in the community where Sebastian Rogers lives right now. I don't know what is going on, but it seems like as they're ramping up this renewed effort to find Sebastian Rogers, it's taking him to some familiar places. Check it out. As I've been discussing most of the day, there has been a renewed effort in the search for Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old autistic boy that's missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. It is my opinion that he disappeared under suspicious circumstances, although law enforcement is saying that there is no evidence of foul play. Sumner County Sheriff's Office put out a Facebook post stating that they're going to be out in the community looking for Sebastian Rogers as this renewed effort for Sebastian Rogers gets underway. Something isn't right. We're getting a really, really odd feeling about this case. You're going to want to stick around as we dive in. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We've brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.
Well, good afternoon, my beautiful coffee beans. Did you survive Manic Monday with a smile on your face? Or are you saying boo? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I'm going to start out, before we get started, I'm going to start out with a case that we went on the live when we found out there was remains out there in Kingsport. I did get a little more information about Kingsport. I'm not quite ready to release it yet until, the law enforcement, I was asked not to, but it's not what we think. But we're glad that somebody is getting some answers to their missing and lost loved one. Right now, or earlier today, we talked about 2 girls in Cumberland County. Fun Size sent this over to me, but since I didn't give it really, it's just desserts because it was, we were kind of on a, just kind of a quick live. I wanted to go over this and show you guys the picture of these 2 girls that are missing out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Just to get some eyeballs on them and a better photo, because it was like, it wasn't really too swell with the phone. It just doesn't work. I don't know. Just doesn't work all that well. So there is the very first girl right there that is missing, and her name is good Lord. I can't say it. I have to do it again. Naima. There we go. Naima Claiborne. That's her, and she's been missing since I believe it looks like February 18th. She left her school. And I can't remember what it's called. It was, hold on, let me go back up here and I'll just read it. So she was last seen around 3 p.m. and this one was leaving her home. So she left her home, and that was Dwells Drive near the intersection of Natal Street and Camden Road. So if anybody is familiar with that area and recognizes this girl, please call local law enforcement out there. And this is Mary. I can't say her last name, and she disappeared from her high school, and her high school was Jack Britt High School, and she has not been seen either. So if you guys have seen either one of those girls, they've been missing. One's been missing for about 2 months, and one's been missing for a couple weeks, and we just want to find some answers related to them. So getting on to the topic of discussion. I'm not going to take too much time to speak because we're going to have the phones open. I'm turning the phones open quicker because, like I said yesterday when we did our live last night, I said we were discussing the case. We were discussing my opinions. We were discussing how I'm feeling about this, and I want to know what you're feeling because I'm just one brain. And I figured if we have a roundtable discussion, we're average Joes. And I want to know how you would commit a crime of this, because let's face it, this is based upon the alleged assumption that Chris Proudfoot had an issue. You're going to be Chris Proudfoot. You're going to be Katie Proudfoot. You're going to be whoever you think committed this crime. And I want you to explain to me how you would do it. That's what I want. Because in the grand scheme of things, something happened to this little boy. Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic boy that went to bed apparently on the evening of February 25th at around 9 p.m. And when his mother went to go wake him up at 6 a.m. on February 26th for school, Monday school, he was not in his bed. Now, we're led to believe that there was nobody else in that house except Katie and Sebastian. A lot of us don't believe that, and I'm split between believing it and not believing it because of the stupid polygraph test. Because the polygraph test, if we believe she truly passed it, then we have to believe she has no knowledge, which changes the whole dynamic of the case in and of itself. But that's not really what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on the who, because I think the majority, and we're living in the world of majority, for those people that don't believe it's Chris, when you call in, you can explain who you believe and how you would, and what you think would have happened. And we're doing this again because I don't believe Sebastian is in the area around their home. I have never believed that. The people that have been following me since the beginning of this case, you guys have a great understanding of where I believe this child could be, at least areas that he could be. But there is one thing that I didn't put into consideration when I was drawing my maps and circling my locations. And that was the fact that Sebastian, where was he? Where did he go? And I truly believe that Chris, in all fairness, in my opinion, allegedly, this is all speculative. This is all, theory-based. This is not factual in any way, shape, or form. But I believe Chris took Sebastian to
the RV. I think that was the only place he had time to take him before he had to report to work. It is my understanding he said that he reported to work at 6 a.m. I'm unsure if that is true. It seems more likely that he would have been there between 6:30 and 7. Again, not leaving him a whole lot of time to do something with Sebastain if Sebastain was with him. So the question I've always had, or had at least recently, at least over the last 24, 48 hours, is where do you think, if Chris was home, or however you think Chris got a hold of Sebastain, how do you think he got him out of the area? Do you think he took him to the RV, or do you think he took him to a place remote? Would you have waited until a later date or later time where things were just a little more relaxed so you'd have more time? This is not a game to me. I want to make sure that that's clear before we start this, because this is really for me to find information that might help me locate an area to search on a map. So while we're speculating and theorizing, I'm really taking notes of what you guys are saying and where you guys would go. So I want to make sure that's clear as well before you guys start calling in. So the phone lines are open. While we wait for the phones to start ringing and people start telling me what they feel or how they think this went or what they would have done or how they would have done it, we're going to be talking about the case. We're going to be talking about the facts of the case. For those that need to know what the number is, it's above me, 724-249-6140. That is the channel's phone number. If you like to call, save it in your phone. Again, that number is 724-249-6140, and just want your ideas of where you think this boy could be, what you think happened, who you think the players are. There's a lot of different perspectives. I've been reading comments when we put these in the video formats. I've been looking at the various Facebook groups. There's a lot of great information in some of those Facebook groups as well. I want to make sure you guys can hear that phone ringing. Hopefully you guys can. Make sure it's, yes, okay. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, it's Fun Size.
Oh, hey, Fun Size. How are you doing?
I'm good. I would be better if we could find Sebastain and all these other missing people.
I know. Well, since I've got you on the phone, before you start on Sebastain, did you want to add anything else to the two girls that are missing?
One, I don't know. So Mary went missing from her school, which is weird. Which there was another little girl, same age, maybe a year younger, that went missing 4 days after her, but she's been found. Okay. Also from the same school. As far as Naima, I'm not too familiar. I am trying to get in contact with family. I have gone out and I have posted missing flyers of both in the area. As far as the military base, well, all over the military base, Fayetteville, Rayford, different areas, all the way up to Greensboro, in the surrounding areas.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for bringing this to our attention. But anyway, I can help, and I thank you for adding. You did everything I asked. You gave me some background information. You attached a link, so I appreciate that.
No, I try. Well, so a little bit about me. My stepmom disappeared in 1993 out of Montpelier Park and Ride in Montpelier, Vermont. And still 31 years almost later, she has not been found. So these cases hit real close to home for me.
I understand. So what do you have to contribute on Sebastian Rogers? I know you're very vocal in here. You have some opinions. So let us...
Sorry, I'm getting out of the way of the dogs.
Oh, no.
Okay, now I can hear. Mine like to bicker with the outdoor neighbor's dogs, so... well, the only possible thing that makes sense for Sebastian's case is that he was taken from the garage. So in my house, we have a security system, which they keep saying they don't have. Well, if you have window locks and door locks and you have to use a keypad, you have a security system.
No, I've got a keypad
I have
here,
the
but
same setup.
I don't have a security system. But I find it almost hard to believe that she works for Brinks and have a security system.
But what I'm saying is so on her windows, like with the pictures that I've seen on the inside and outside of the home, they have the little boxes on their windows just like I do for a keypad system.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was to be opened, you would get alerted.
Gotcha. Hold on just a second.
Unless the thing is off.
Going to go, while you're doing this, I'm going into my my chat so I can look up the Zillow thing so I can go and look at their windows.
Yeah, so on some of the windows, they'll have, I can take a picture of it and I can send it to you through email later to show you exactly what I mean.
Oh,
so
no, I know what the security little doohickeys look like, but I didn't even think to look at the windows when I was looking at the Zillow ad,
listing, yeah.
Yeah, because that's really the only thing that gives you an idea of the house. I got to tell you this, I was looking at the floor plans, the floor plans of their house, their actual house design. And, I live in a house that's about 1,100 square feet. It's, and I can barely hear from one side of this house to the other. And I looked at where Sebastian's mom's bedroom is and where Sebastian's bedroom is. And there's literally, this house is 3,400 square feet. It has a kitchen and everything in it and even a garage between her bedroom and his bedroom. How in the heck is she going to hear a thud?
And that's my point. So I live on a 1-floor house, which is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, whatever. It's not huge, but it's decent size. And from my bedroom to just the other bedroom, and there's 1 full bathroom in between the 2 and a tiny hallway, and you can't hear anything from that room if somebody's in there talking.
Nothing. I can't even hear my doorbell half the time when I'm in the
So
back
if she actually heard this thud that she's saying she heard, then obviously...
But him hollering back to her, and I was asking,
right.
What did he have, a bullhorn?
Right. Yeah, none of that makes sense. And the weird part about that is she came up with that situation after her first initial story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like once she heard everybody's asking questions after they did their initial one, then they added more stuff into it. And that's extremely concerning in any case.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was 6 when my stepmom disappeared, and I can tell you everything that happened that day. And I was 6.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. And thank you for sharing a little bit of your story, too. I did not know that. You should send me the case of your mom.
And this isn't about me or my stepmom by any means, though.
Yeah, but you should send me the case. I'm actually interested in figuring something out. You should send it over to me. Just,
Okay.
I'm
will.
busy, but I can always work on something in downtime.
No, I appreciate it, but yeah, this isn't about my stepmom or myself.
You're part of the family, so if we have problems with them,
I appreciate that.
Always try to take care of us first.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the only way that it's possible, they're saying there was no scent outside, and from what I'm hearing is the scent that they're saying that the path scent that he originally took was apparently a false positive, which I do believe, because if you don't have a scent even going to the trash can or the side of the road where the trash that he supposedly brought out, but you have one going to the back near the pond, how does that make sense?
And not only that, but you know what? When did she tell? This is one question that I have as well. I want to know when she realized he had no shoes on his feet, because there was officers down there that saw bare feet near that retention pond. Did she overhear that and say, "Ooh, we can capitalize on this," to make it look like he went down there, even though she knew those footprints weren't his? And did she ended up jamming herself up, thinking she was helping herself out, and now she's jammed up and can't say, "Oh, he was, he left in these shoes." I mean, I really don't know. But even Seth said he only had 3 pairs of shoes. So.
Right, and that wouldn't surprise me because, like I said, every time they've come out and made a statement, and the minute they hear, she keeps saying, "Oh, I stay off of social media." No, you don't. You guys are on social media nonstop, and I would bet $1,000 on that.
Oh, they're probably watching me. They don't want anybody talking bad about them. They've got their reputation to uphold.
Screw Sebastian. I mean,
Right.
it's not about him.
Well, let me tell you, if I ever got 2 minutes with Katie, I would love to get the chance to box her right in her mouth.
I'm not a violent person, but I'd have some choice words for her. There's definitely, the one thing I've got for me is my mouth, and I use it as much as I can.
I don't choose violence, but when you're being abusive and a bully to a child that is
hard, I know.
Special needs, that's not acceptable. Not in any way, shape, or form is that okay. And for her to allow her piece of trash husband to do that makes me angry.
Don't misunderstand
Very
me.
angry.
I'll get down if I see something, some violence going on. But, going
Right.
up and actually instigating the violence, not so much.
Oh, I don't instigate.
I'm still trying to find it. Good Lord, we've been chatting up in our mod squad so much about this case. I mean, this case and the two ladies in Oklahoma and Kansas, what a mess that is as well.
I haven't even looked at that case yet because I'm just so consumed in poor little Sebastain. And I'm so tired of hearing people say, "Oh, well, Seth. Oh, look at Seth." Seth is the only parent out looking day and night for this little boy. The only parent doing anything. And am I going to sit here and say, I know for sure he didn't do anything? No. But in my heart, do I believe he didn't do anything? Yes. I don't believe he's done anything.
Even though he was 45 minutes away, he, out of all of them, I think, because of his job, and I know they're saying nobody's cleared, but I have to think that he is probably the most cleared out of all of them, because I truly believe law enforcement can go directly to a camera and say he's right here at this time.
Absolutely.
Well, Fun Size, I've got to let you go. We got people calling in the back.
All right.
It was great talking to you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. This is Betty.
All right.
Hello?
Hello. This is Betty.
Betty.
Bullhorn Betty, you're calling my line? We're live?
Oh, hi.
Did you mean to call me?
It says to call, what would you do?
Yeah. How would you commit this crime?
How would I commit that crime? First of all, I wouldn't come home. How would I commit that? There's too many things that doesn't make sense being at home.
Oh, can you turn me down in your background? I'm hearing some feedback. Sorry.
Oh, I said, first of all, I
was asking if you could turn me down in your background. I can hear the feedback.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you coming through my mic.
Is this better?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Sorry.
I said, first of all, I wouldn't have claimed that I was home.
Yeah.
There's too many, it doesn't make sense if you were at home. Like no cameras, nobody catching you, your car lights pulling in the garage. They said that it would pick up lights. So why was their car lights not caught on camera? I believe his mother and stepfather has something to do with it too. I think they may have drugged him.
So you think there's a premeditation element to this then?
I do, if the mother's involved, unless the stepdad just got really mad and hurt him, because he acts like he hates the boy.
Yes, he does.
And the mother doesn't act like she cares too much, but I mean, the other day I was listening to her talk about how much she loved her husband, and she talked to him all the time on the phone because they never seen each other, and just like she was crazy about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like she really wants to spend time with him, and I think they can't do that with the kids. But I just feel like they met somewhere, because they haven't checked his GPS, and because he was asked that. They have Katie's, but to see where all he had been and everything, and he seems to think that because he said that he was at work, that's all he has to say. But there's so many things that they should check. I mean, they started out on the wrong end.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree.
But I believe what I believe is if they were home, then they've done something to him, took him out the garage, put him in the vehicle where he wouldn't be seen, and the vehicle wouldn't be seen, obviously, and then took him somewhere. He had plenty of time to get back to work.
So, do you think he would have gotten rid of him heading back to work, or do you think?
I do.
You do?
I
okay.
do. Either that or the mother and stepdad helped him and took him far off.
What do you think about Katie and Chris leaving the area not once but twice?
It makes no sense. It's just like they know without a shadow of a doubt they're not going to find him.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care because they know they're not going to charge them with anything because they don't have anything. That's how they're looking at it. And they're just acting like the boy never existed.
Let me ask you this. What kind of experience do you or your significant other have? Like, do you have any kind of construction background? Do you have any friends in construction or anything like that?
Yeah, my ex-husband, he did painting, and so we were always on construction sites, painting businesses and things like that. It's possible that he could have gotten there and buried him on the work site.
Well, my question was, do you think it's odd that he's trying to allege that he wasn't coming home on the weekends when he had off of work?
That he what?
He wasn't coming home on the weekends when he had off work. I mean, he's only 3.5 hours away, and he wanted to stay 3.5 hours away from his own bed.
Well, I thought that he wasn't allowed to come home because of DHS or
That's
whatever.
all rumor. That's all speculative. Nobody knows for sure whether that's true or not. All we know is that there was a CPS case. I don't even know how people knew it was January 26th, but that's what's being said. Maybe it came. I don't know where it came from, but we're hearing that it happened on January 26th. But other than the actual case and then knowing the little bit of factors, do we really know that CPS told him not to come home? I don't know if we know that.
Oh, that's true. And they wouldn't make him leave the home just because of his daughter's case, right? Would they?
I don't think so. I mean, and not only that, but if they were to make him leave his home because of his daughter, that would imply that Sebastian's a danger, and I don't think he was ever classified as that by the courts.
So, no, I mean the stepdad. They wouldn't make him leave until court was finished with us.
I don't know, because I think somebody in the audience that has experience with CPS is going to have to probably explain the process. To be honest with you, because I don't know it. I really don't. I don't know if they're customary to whenever you have CPS involved that they do this. I remember there was a friend of mine, and it was several years ago, and her daughter and her father got into it or something like that. But it was like verbal, not physical, right. And DCS was still called. I mean, they closed the case out in a couple weeks, but it did. I don't remember anybody having to be forced to leave or anything like that.
Case would have to be open, wouldn't it? Like if where he whipped him with a belt, that would mean
but they would have to find, abuse. I think that it'd have to be established. I don't even know if they can. Unless they were threatening to take Sebastain out of the home, it's either he go or Sebastain go. But again, I don't know if we'd be a privy to that.
I think there's more than anybody knows going on.
I do too. I feel like
there was
a lot of contention behind the scenes.
I feel like they've wasted all this time looking in the wrong direction because he never ran away. There's no doubt about that. It's not possible. Mm-mm. He didn't just go through the wall or through the chimney.
No aliens in Tennessee this year.
No, and have they said if they prove that they talked 3 hours on the phone that night?
We're not getting anything. I don't think those kind of details we're going to be able to corroborate. We're not going to be able to corroborate until law enforcement tells us a little more. And
Right.
literally, in all fairness, when I go back, we really the bulk of all the information that we've got about this case is from the Proudfoots, which is a little concerning.
Right. Well, you remember the 2 hour the 2 hour talk with his ex-wife when she said that when they took her little girl and she went to the house to get her, that Chris's stepdad brought a bat out and threatened to bash her and the kid's head in if she didn't get off the property. If they're that bad and that mean, they wouldn't care a bit to do something with that child if that's what they...
And it's a family affair, too. That's what I absolutely believe. It's absolutely a family affair because they... I coerced, or I don't know, they manipulated Nina to come to Tennessee in an effort to take her daughter. I mean, I'm just thinking about how horrible.
He didn't want her.
Huh?
He didn't even want her.
The only reason why he wanted her is because he was going to be damned before he gave that woman a damn dime of his money. We all know this man.
Exactly.
And it terrifies me it terrifies the hell out of me to think of what that daughter would go through. Let her get a little older and backtalk her father. That's what scares me the most.
Right.
He does not need to be around any children, period.
See, I just feel like they should have started with, I don't care what he said, he was at work. Where's all the proof that he was at work the whole time? Why didn't they check his GPS, all three vehicles, and track every minute from the time she claims that to see where they went everywhere? Because we don't even know when they left the restaurant if she even came back home. And I was watching this morning where somebody had called in and said that she believed that she saw his truck that morning at that gas station.
Yes.
On his way to work, and she didn't see him, but she just believes that was Sebastain.
Yep.
And that makes sense. The timing makes sense.
But the description of the truck, she described Chris Proudfoot's truck to a T.
And they haven't given that information, have they?
No. I mean, anybody watching the case could probably see Chris Proudfoot's truck, but I mean, it seems this is something that can be corroborated. She had a receipt showing the time that she was at that gas station. It's right on the way to the I-40 corridor, which is where I think everybody should have been searching from the beginning, because that seems the most probable.
The only reason that they're doing this now is because all the YouTube and everybody is so invested in it, and everybody, they're not going to let it go, because I just believe that they believed them from the very beginning, and they just started in the wrong direction, and they wasted all this time.
Well, I don't think they necessarily wasted time. I think that, I do. I think they wasted time because they were too busy playing BS games. They're trying to, I don't know what goes on in Tennessee, but when we don't find kids in like 7 days, we change this over. We immediately start bringing people in, questioning them, getting forensic, getting DNA, taking hair swabs, taking sheet swabs.
Exactly.
I mean, enough crap.
They just acted as if there was no other option except for he ran away. Is what I'm saying. They didn't even mention.
Isn't that what they did to the Summer Wells case too?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Well, hon, I appreciate you calling. I got to let you go and open the phones up. I didn't realize we've been on the phone for about 12 minutes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, and God bless, and please call again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm at my wits' end with the details of this case, because this is Betty.
Hey, Miss Betty, how you doing, my love?
I
This is Brenda from Wisconsin.
Brenda, I thought you sounded just like Unicorn. I bet you she's behind you. How you doing, Brenda?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, it's nice.
Why ain't you found that boy? Why ain't you found that boy in Tennessee yet, my love?
Well, it's because I have no wheels. I haven't been there. I'm going to be out there on the 21st. I'm going to be out in Tennessee for 2 weeks.
If you was out here in Wisconsin, I'd damn sure give you my vehicle, love.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm waiting for a part. My car is it's there, and it's only going to take an hour for them to put the part in when the part arrives. But we need the part to arrive to install it in the car.
I understand that. But on this poor baby's case, I honestly, Betty, I don't think he made it home that night. I honestly don't think. The reason I'm saying that is I watch my buddy Dolly all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was down the neighbors are very, very, very nosy. Mm-hmm. Every time he was down there, there was that woman on the corner.
Yes.
That would come out more or less tell him to leave, get the hell out of there. With the neighbors being that nosy, somebody would have seen that baby take garbage out that night. Somebody would have seen them come home that night. I honestly think he did not make it home. I still think he's alive.
Uh-huh.
I think they've got him hid somewhere.
But why? Because
I do not think.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing this, and here's my theory on the hiding of him. Like, what would the purpose be? I mean, if they want him out of the house, Seth was going to take him. Why not just give him to Seth? Why would they go through this public embarrassment? Why would they go through all this pressure? Why would they go through a law enforcement investigation to hide a boy they don't want that the father was willing to take? That's the thing that's
because of Chris's ego. He cannot stand to lose anything. What has he done?
Yeah,
okay. Listen. Just listen to me just 1 second, okay, honey? Because I ain't got time. I ain't got much time. I don't want to take your time up. The reason I'm saying this, look how bad he did his own daughter. Mm-hmm. Okay? He didn't even want that child. He wanted her aborted. His own child. What do you think he did to that little boy? He wouldn't let him wear boxers. He made him wear depends or pull-ups. He abused that child mentally and physically.
And I just keep thinking of how
he can't stand Seth. Exactly. Now, if you listen to what that heifer and that bee interview and then Seth's interview, you get a totally different child from each one. A totally different child. But Chris is so controlling. He wants to control everything. He tried to blackmail Seth, and it didn't work. It backfired on his ass the other night when Seth come forth. He told about everything.
That pissed me off. That really that got under my. I gotta say that got under my skin so bad. Like how manipulative.
But I tell you, I hope Chris is listening to you. I pray he is, 'cause Chris, you tried to come and pull shit like that on me, bad boy. I'd bend you over my lap and spank your ass and send you back home to your mama crying.
I can tell you he's watching.
Try to do something like.
They're worried about me coming.
Try to do some shit like that to a southern woman from Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You try to do that shit to somebody like us, honey. We'd bitch slap you and send you back home to your mama crying.
And make sure we don't have any hands on a cast iron, because boy, you can't even run at that point.
I tell you what, my sister-in-law got mad at her dad one time, smacked him upside the head with the cast iron skillet. Sure did, cracked his head open. He had about 70 stitches, almost killed him. Well, don't piss off a Southern woman, and you won't get smacked upside the head with the cast iron skillet. Now I'm living in Wisconsin right now, and taking care of a man.
Yeah.
Now he knows how my damn temper is. He screwed with me one time. He ain't done that shit no more. 'Cause I told him, you got to go to sleep. And you may not wake up. And that scared the shit out of him. He ain't done shit still.
All right. Well, let's not put anybody to sleep on the Bullhorn Betty show. No, I'm just joking. Thank you, Brenda, so much.
No,
for
we ain't
calling.
putting him to sleep. No, honey, I honestly do. I think she handed him. I think she handed Sebastain off to somebody he loved. I think he's alive. I really do think
I hope he is.
I hope for Seth. I hope he is and he gets him back. I pray every night that baby is alive and he is being taken care of. I really do. But Betty, I want to say, babe, I watch you all the time and I love you. God bless you for what you do for these people. And you keep being you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, honey. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So the phones are back open. I know that we're getting a little crazy here for a second. So she thinks that's, you know what? I mean, I love the idea that people think Sebastian is alive. I want to find him. I want to find him and make sure he can go home safe. This is Betty.
Hello?
Hi, this is Betty.
Yeah, Doug from Tennessee.
Well, hello, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
So what do you think's going on with this case?
I think the boy's alive. They're doing something illegal with the little boy, and it's that time of year to do something illegal with him.
Do you think the parents had something, or do you think it's somebody he doesn't know?
Well, he's with people he don't know, but I just got a feeling he's being rented out. See, children with autism, when they go to theme parks, and you might think it's crazy, they get to go to the front of the line. And if you got a family of 3 and you're going to the theme park and you spend a bunch of money, you spend a couple $1,000 to rent a fella like that for the weekend, would you? Wow. Put him in a motel room, pay for his food, pay for him to get into the park, and all your family gets to go up to the front of the line. No waiting. Wow. And it's illegal to do that.
Well, of course, yeah.
And that might have been why that guy seen him up there in Gatlinburg.
How do you think they would have obtained Sebastian? I mean, he's autistic and he went to bed the night before and apparently he was gone the next morning. So how would you...
Well, you just rent him out and they come and pick him up the night before and go to Gatlinburg.
But how would they coax him out? I mean, how would they know which window's his?
You don't have... Mama and them's in on it.
Okay.
Well,
so
see, they can't tell.
They can't. There. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they can't tell everybody that because it's illegal. Gotcha. That's the same as that'd be same as trafficking children. It ain't for sexual, but it's for money and profit.
Gotcha.
And you'd be surprised at the people who do that stuff.
Well, you being in Tennessee,
be surprised.
Did you hear about the Summer Wells case? Do you have kind of a similar theory as with her, similar to that as well?
I believe she was sold. I believe that woman that's her Sunday school teacher. They got her in one of them David Koresh's condominiums from that church, and she was one of the children. Was 8-year-old when that Branch Davidian happened in Texas. She was one of David Koresh's people.
Gotcha.
And I believe Summer Wells is up there. And if you check out that Dotson guy, he's got places up there in North Carolina.
Who is Dodson? Is that Jackie Dodson? That's Dobson. Was it Jackie?
No, that's David Dodson. David Dodson.
David, that's right. Because I think I met his daughter. Wasn't he the
preacher?
Yes.
He's like a preacher guy.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I met his daughter. His daughter spoke to us.
And they take all them little young girls in like that and marry them and all that stuff, and you'll never see her again.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much
She's
for
home.
the perspective, and
But
back to back that he's alive. So keeping the hope. I appreciate that. That's really positive.
I believe he is alive, though.
Well, thank you, and God bless.
You too. Bye.
Bye. How many people just, because quite frankly, you guys know how I think, because I'm in true crime and I run this stuff every day, all day, and, we don't get really a lot of good news. But I haven't polled my audience in a while. By a show of ones and twos, ones being alive, two being the alternative. In my audience, how many of you think that he's alive versus the alternative? This is Betty.
Hello, Betty.
Hi. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hi, honey. I'm sorry I talk loud. I'm deaf. My name is Helen Nicholson, and I'm from Boston.
Oh, hi, Helen. How are you?
Oh, Betty, it's a pleasure to meet you. I love your beautiful face every day, honey.
Oh, thank you. So what do you think's going on?
Well, here now I'm just figuring out things now because it's been a crazy. This case has been like unreal. Well, anyway, the first everybody, this is my opinion and my opinion only. I heard this on YouTube right out of the biological father's mouth. I'm not saying it out of hate. I care about him and worry about him, and it's just something simple, but something that I'm thinking. This first meeting, he was outside with another YouTuber. He was smoking a cigarette leaning on a fence. And he was talking about his own YouTube station. And he had told the other YouTuber that he has a new one that's been 100 hours now. Okay, like accurately, 100 hours, his YouTube. Well, now I'm sitting here for the past 2 weeks. I feel like I'm playing fucking Nintendo. I'm lost, Betty. I'm really, it's like I'm waiting for somebody to jump out of the bushes now.
Well, I've been doing a little bit more. I've been trying to keep things entertained, keep you guys at least some kind of content all day long so you guys have updates throughout the day.
I love it. You're the best. I love it. You are the best girlfriend.
Aw, thank you.
And I'm so happy I got to call in and let you know how I feel like it's Nintendo. I might be in my 70s, and I don't want no one to think I'm senile.
We don't think
because I'm not. My brain's like a 20-year-old. I just thought I'd let Betty know and see what was up.
Oh, we love you. We thank you for watching.
And Betty, I'll call again.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
That's so sweet. So it looks like we do have a few people that believe, that there's he's alive and well. I mean, I shouldn't say well. I don't think if he's gone this long that whatever he's going through is a good thing. But this is Betty.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Louisiana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing better now. So what do you think's going on with this case, and where do you think Sebastian could be?
I think I've speculated too much, that I have too many different theories, but my main question is, how many quote unquote runaways do the Secret Service get involved with?
That's interesting. I don't know the answer to that because we don't know when the Secret Service is ever involved. I mean, we usually find out about the Secret Service after the fact or at trial.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. It's just that's weird to me, first of all, and I don't think he ran away because I guess I kind of trust the dog, sniffing him to the front door, and they didn't go any further.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I find that hard to believe that he just levitated and floated. So I think one of my theories is they did have a custody case coming up. Sebastian can testify against Chris, so they had to do, and that theory, I think he is still alive because they had to get him away long enough. But then if you watch that mom in any interview, it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home.
I know.
So
she's like, check the frick out.
Yeah. So either they had to get him out of the house for this custody case, or she lost control that night and had to get Chris to come clean up her mess. And that's why he's doing all the talking, because she you know, she's like, I don't.
But
I mean,
how could she pass her? If we believe that the polygraph test is accurate and she did pass, how would we explain she passed if she's the one that had a hand in this?
I don't think that polygraph tests are accurate. I think that I mean,
False. I mean,
there
it
are
happens.
ways.
False positive, false
Well,
negatives.
yeah,
You
and
know,
you
inconclusive.
can take a YouTube class on how to pass a polygraph. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think it's really weird that Chris wouldn't take one, even though I don't think that they're accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that him denying to take one speaks volumes.
It's weird.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There was a lady. I watched a live on TikTok last night where a lady she's been communicating with Chris Proudfoot, and she wholeheartedly believes that he's innocent. And so, and we just know that can't be true because there's too many.
Well,
there would
in
have
all
to be.
fairness, it could be. I mean, if you really want to be honest with it, if we restrict everything back, we really don't have nothing but our inkling, our gut, our suspicion because of their behavior. The behavior is the most damaging piece of evidence that we here on social media are really using. We don't have a scintilla of actual physical evidence to say Chris did anything, to be honest with you. We don't even have it.
Well,
we don't even have proof he was here.
Let me tell you one thing. I would bust the gates of hell open for your child.
Oh.
I can only imagine what I would do for mine
Mm-hmm.
in that situation. I'm not going to say I would act different because God willing, I've never been there. But I could not sit at home knowing that my child was out there, or sit in an RV somewhere knowing my child was out there, and maybe I'm the one that would find him. But I'm sitting at home. I couldn't do it. I couldn't live with myself. It would consume me.
Yeah.
But for her to be able to sit there through and you know, a lot of people say that Sebastain got lost in the whole Riley Strain thing, and I think the reason that people connected with Riley Strain's case so much is because us as mothers, we felt the mom's pain when she got on there crying for her baby. We felt that.
Mm-hmm.
And I
actually,
think that's
funny
the
that you say
disconnect
that.
here.
I actually stopped my show and said, I know people are going to be upset with me, but you know, we're usually attracted to cases because the victim, but it really was the mom. The mom's the one that pulled me in.
Yeah. And I think that's why this one's gotten lost, because we don't feel that from, and it's not, I mean, he's just as important, but we can, as mothers, we connected with her because we've seen her pain. Do you know the impact it would have on this case if that mother got on a video pleading for her son? Do you know how much that would change things?
Yeah. And she won't do it.
But she won't. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. But this is the reason I don't think that they physically harmed him or took his life, because they're cowards. They won't even face the public after, you know, everything they've done. They're too scared of what people are going to say. They won't face anybody.
But so did the West parents. The West parents, exactly same demeanor, almost verbatim with what they said. Police told us to stay in the house, so that's what we're doing. We're letting them do their job.
Let me tell you something. Nothing would stop me. Nothing.
I'm not even a mom. I haven't given live birth to a child. And I would be fighting for these kids. I'm going crazy over this boy, and his own mother is not.
And that's, you know, I saw something on one of the Facebook pages, and it was a 5-year-old little girl handing out flyers of Sebastain at a local baseball game. And I'm thinking, you know, Katie and Chris need to take notes. This is a 5-year-old child.
God bless
It's sickening. And that's why I have such a problem with it, because I don't think we're going to figure it out. Either they're going to have to slip up, or they're going to have to.
It's going to be searching. It really is. It's going to be going out there as much as we can, getting out there in the areas that we think it's possible, all the way up and down I-40, because we don't know where this kid is. But we all kind of, at least the majority of us, believe either Katie or Chris had a hand in it, and either Katie or Chris had to do something with him. And God forgive us if we're totally wrong. You know, this stuff will come out, but this is part of the process because, let's face it, he's not around their house.
No, he's definitely not around their house. And you know, another thing with law enforcement is, you know, like I don't trust the law enforcement in Tennessee. I don't. I've seen too much lately. But you know, somebody turned in a tip to JLR about the speedway in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Okay, JLR goes to the speedway and asks them, you know, have they come and questioned you about this, whatever, and they said no. He goes back again. I think it was yesterday or today, maybe, I don't know. Asked again. He said no, they haven't come. And I mean, if this is someone saying, and it's easy to corroborate that tip because the lady has a receipt from getting gas. So why haven't they at least checked up with that? I mean, do they know something they're not telling us, and that's why these tips are just getting thrown to the wayside? I don't know.
I think, you know, I don't understand. I know that these investigations can be overcomplicated as is, and then you have a whole bunch of people trying to search, you know, talking about the case. This is something, I mean, we have to understand in addition to this that social media is, you know, law enforcement hasn't quite gelled well with everything yet, and I don't think they understand how we work. And when it comes to the leads, I think that they sometimes overlook leads because of the amount of leads they're getting. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just, you know, it's 2024. People do not go missing without a trace of nothing. There's too many cameras. There's too many. I mean, people have access to cameras in their hand. You know, there's always a camera somewhere. People just don't go missing. This took work.
Yeah, it took work.
I mean,
it did.
I don't think the boy would go hide to it. I mean, I'm not saying that
he's never been around anybody but his. I mean, we're trying to put a square peg in a square peg in a round hole here, because let's face it, he's a sheltered kid. He's not around anybody. He's not around threats. I mean, the pool of people that could have done this is so ridiculously small. Because he's not out there. He doesn't have the internet threats. He doesn't have, you know, him playing outside all the time and somebody just seeing him threats, because he's inside all the time. He's always around an adult. He's never left alone. He's never alone.
Well, I mean, the way he got SA'd is because he was left alone.
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that I think that they're trying to. I think the mom and stepdad are trying to make him look like he's incompetent, and I don't think he's as incompetent as they make him out to be.
Yeah, I think
because
that goes to Chris's state. Like, Chris just does not like this kid. I mean, I went back.
No, he doesn't, and I mean, with a child being autistic, I mean, of course, as parents, we know we're always going to be there for our kids for the rest of our life, but you know, he's going to be dependent on them for the rest of his life. So, and you know, you're never going to have your you time. And you know what? That's another thing, because it's really weird how Katie was always stuck home with him, and then, you know, he goes missing, and now she's just, you know, doing cross country road trips, I guess. It's crazy.
I don't get it. I mean, well,
but
their behavior is just, you know, if we had to apply a reasonable standard, and I want to say reasonable standard because everybody's emotional level is different, but a reasonable standard of behavior, they fail.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to know what they're going through, because I don't ever want to be in that position. But I just know it, as a mom, I would not be able to live with myself knowing that my son was never come back home and I didn't do anything to try to stop it.
I can tell you, over the years of doing this, I've seen families that it doesn't really matter whether people have accused them, people have done things, you know, they kept fighting, they kept being out there, they didn't care about hiding their face, about running away, they didn't care. They were out there for a mission, and it was to find their loved one, and nothing was going to stop them. And this family here says, oh my gosh, we have a search party, run!
It's
the most insane thing I've ever seen.
It makes no sense. And I mean, I just, like, I'm not going to say, you know, I hope and pray that by some miracle that he's out there and they ditched him off somewhere, with somebody to keep him away or something. I don't know, because I just I would want the boy to be okay, but I mean you're over your 40 something days now. I mean, I don't know.
It's
I just
hard.
hope.
It's hard to keep hope after so long because we're reasonable people, we're realistic people, and we do this every single day, and we know for ourselves, when it's been kind of too long, and that's kind of
I mean, and it's not like he's an adult that could survive on his own out there, and maybe be a quote unquote homeless person and hustle up or whatever. He's not. I mean, any 15-year-old these days, now way back it was probably different, but 15-year-olds these days, they just don't have the street smart that it would take to do something like that. And so I don't know. I don't know what they did with him, but in my whole heart feel like they did something with him, because I mean, they quit tricking him at the door. That's not a coincidence.
Right.
So I don't know. My main thing was the Secret Service thing, because I just thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But
all right,
anyway,
Love Bug. Well, I
will let you
appreciate
go.
your insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I saw Mab. He said that my volume is down just a little bit, so hopefully this fixes it. I don't know if it did or not, but hopefully it does. This is Betty.
Hi, Betty.
Hi, who's this and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from St. Paul.
Okay. And what do you know about the Sebastian Rogers case, and what do you think happened?
Oh, one important thing in my mind is that the biological father, Seth, was talking about a man that was a friend, the stepfather's, that was a pedophile, correct?
That is correct.
Not the young boy.
Nope. He said there was 3 separate incidences, and it was the mom had him around after a guy just got out of jail after 9 years for that kind of crime. He let him watch his son by himself. Yes, you're correct.
Now we don't know we don't know his name. We don't know who it is, and that's one person that I'm seeking to find out more information. I think it would be helpful, don't you?
I agree. I'll put it on the list and see if we can locate. But I have, out of all the interviews I've heard, I haven't heard anybody bring up a name of who the guy was. Just that he had just gotten out of prison after a 9-year stint.
Yes. Then if I were a mother, the child, young boy, Sebastian, right?
Yes.
If I were guilty, I wouldn't be here today. I would not. I couldn't live with myself. I would feel so guilty. I would feel so bad, even in a fit of anger or whatever. That's my second point. My third point is, do you think now when Sebastian and his mother were out about, do you think someone could have hidden in Sebastian's room and waited for the opportunity to, get away with Sebastian?
I think somebody, if it was well planned, there's a lot of possibilities that could have happened as far as somebody lying in wait. A well planned and executed strategy is a planned and executed strategy. So I think anything's possible. But if that was the case and somebody was lying in wait, who do you think it would be?
Well, either that pedophile man or Chris, one or the other.
Gotcha.
That's allegedly.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
course. Well, we appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much for calling in, and please call.
One more thing about the garbage. About the garbage bag. Wasn't there a conversation with if Sebastian wouldn't keep his room clean, they would all his toys would be put in a trash bag and thrown out, and that he would never forget it, and he would clean his room from then on. Isn't there a conversation like that?
Yes, and I didn't personally hear it, but I know conversating with my mod squad when we've been discussing this, that has been brought up because we're like, how abusive that must be. He's an autistic kid, and that's pretty rough. I mean, that would hurt my feelings as a normal person without this disability. But I can't imagine the PTSD aspect of this type of punishment. It seems so psychological.
Corporal punishment. For punishment. Yes. Well, you do such a good job. I enjoy your show, and I'm 80 years old, and I try to keep up in love and prayers. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. God bless and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We saw such beautiful people. I love it. I love the beautiful people. Guys, so this is kind of it for me tonight. We're going to wrap this up. I just want people to keep thinking about this because we need to really... Oh, hold on. We're still not done yet. This is Betty. How can I help you? May I take your order?
Hey, Betty.
No, I'm just joking. Hi, who's this and where are you calling from?
I'm Sonia, and I'm calling from Bluefield, Mississippi.
Well, hello, Sonia. How are you doing, beautiful?
I got a little hiccup going on, but I think I'm going to make it.
Okay, well, we'll forgive you if you hiccup.
With the Sebastian, like, I'm sort of puzzled, but I really think Chris did this to him. Like, he snuck in, got him, took him off, but I do think the mom's in on it. And
how do you think she passed her polygraph, or do you believe she passed her polygraph?
Okay, the polygraph. I think she took the internet polygraph, because you can easily pass that. Because you haven't heard no police say nothing about no polygraph.
Mm-mm.
So, and I've been Googling everything that I've been hearing, and like I've been having a feeling like he's over there towards his school. Over there towards that graveyard. He's not too far from home.
So you think he's closer to home? See, I'm opposite. I think Chris took him further out. I think he took him out of the immediate area. But the cemetery. I've always been peculiar because I've never had a handler or law enforcement answer this question for me, and I don't know why they won't, but they won't. And I've asked them, I said, can cadaver dogs find people in cemeteries? And they've never answered me. I cannot get an answer. They won't, they literally will not answer me.
Okay, like the brothers underwater, they had a cadaver dog, and when they were out there doing the scene or whatever, he said that they can smell under the ground.
Oh, they can, but in a cemetery, like if you're looking for a person because it's a cemetery. They're all cadavers.
Like,
how do you locate the one you're looking for?
With a scent.
But it's like a chicken or the egg type. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
And see, my husband thinks he's on 412 too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to get out there on the 21st. I'm going to be in Tennessee for 2 weeks. I'm going to spend some time on the Layla Santinello case and Sebastian Rogers case. Those are pretty much the two that are going to. Of course, I'm going to be out there for Summer Wells as well. I might stay out there longer. I'm not sure when I get back. I'll have to plan it. I'll play it by ear when I get out to Tennessee because there's just so much work out there. We've got 3 girls missing and a boy. I mean,
right.
So
It just
But
seems like we need to be out there searching and not here in the house. I mean, that's too many
Right.
people.
Well, I get your notified when you come on, because when you on, I got my TV on.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. Well, God bless and thanks for
You
calling.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'm turning off the phones now because we have made it. We have made it. But I really do. I want you guys to really be thinking about this, thinking about what happened that night, what could have happened that night, where could they have gone, where would they have went. Look at all the three key players here and where they worked and where they lived and some prime locations, because it's not just about discussing these cases. We want Sebastian's face, we want his name, we want everything out there. But we also know what kind of situation we are dealing with here. And we want to get out there and we want to get our feet on the ground to help search for him, because at the end of the day, he needs to be brought home. And there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people that have their hands in this. And we just want Sebastian home. However he comes home, we just want him home. And with this situation keep snowballing and keeps getting worse and keeps getting worse, and we keep seeing bad behavior from his mother and his stepfather, and it's just making us so sick with concern. I mean, I am truly concerned for this boy. And it's not because there's evidence that I need to be concerned. We don't have a pool of blood here, okay? We don't have anything saying anything happened to him. As you guys heard my callers saying, that they believe, some of my callers believe that he is breathing, he is above the ground, there is hope that he's going to come back safe. And there's others that do not. But why? Why do we have that feeling? It's because of the behaviors of the Proudfoots. They put this target square on their back. Why? Because they didn't want to be around anybody. They didn't want to help. Outside of when the cameras were on, them looking like concerned parents, behind the scenes, they surely didn't seem like they gave a shit one way or another whether Sebastian was found. As a matter of fact, it actually appears to be just opposite, that they don't want him found. And they want to hinder any effort to find him. And that's where my problem comes in. And then she leaves her boy behind, not once, but twice. And if that isn't bad enough, she tries to justify her actions. It seems to me that she wants to run away from anything and everything that reminds her of her son. So part of my efforts out there in Tennessee is to remind her what she is running away from. And there is no better person for the job than that. Okay? I don't know how we're going to do it. I've got to still order the signs. I want 3 banners. I want 2 that just his missing person banner, legit missing person banner, because at the end of the day, we want him found. But I'm making 1 banner that basically says, "Mommy, why won't you help me?" and "Mommy, why won't you tell the truth?" And it's going to have his face on it. And wherever they're camping, I'm going to be, at least for a few days, in a public area with that sign. So when they wake up in the morning, they get to see their beautiful son's face. I can't imagine anything better than a mom waking up to her son in the morning. So I want to make sure that I can do that for her, because, I am here to help. I am here to help. So I will be out there searching, but since I have to go out there and work for it, and I got to go out there in those, the treacherous terrain to look for this boy, why his mommy and stepdaddy won't help? Well, okay. Well, then you get to deal with some of my little temper tantrums. And one of my temper tantrums is making sure that there is a big, beautiful banner of your son sitting outside of your new home on wheels. And I couldn't figure out, Chris, I got a question for you, dude. Like, are you trying to get a fast getaway? I can't understand why you keep parking out there in the front gate of the gate. Why you are not asking for a place in the back so people can't drive by and just watch you from all angles.
And then I looked at the position of your truck and your trailer, and you look like you're set up for a quick getaway. Why is that, Chris? Asking for a few, I don't know, 100,000, million friends? You're never going to get away from social media. If you want to hide, the best place you can hide is back at your house. At least you got concrete. So when I really throw a temper tantrum, it's not that loud. Where you're at now, it's just a bunch of tin. I don't even need to bring equipment, Chris. My mouth is loud enough. I can just talk to you through it. Hey, Chris! Katie! I'm here. You gonna come out and help me search? I don't mind searching Mississippi. Because you know what I find funny? I find them in Mississippi. I keep wondering, why are they in Mississippi? Why do they keep going to Mississippi? Not anywhere else. It doesn't look like he's working either, does it? Has anybody seen Chris Proudfoot show up for work? So why is he why didn't he go somewhere different? Why is he going back to the same place that he was at when Sebastian Rogers disappeared? Lots of questions. Lots of questions. All right, guys, think about how you'll do it. We're going to continue having this conversation. We're going to continue to open up the phone lines. We're going to continue to let you guys talk. We're going to continue to keep brainstorming. We're going to continue to think outside of the box, and we're going to continue to fight for Sebastian when his mommy and his stepdaddy want to run away. While they're running away, we're still searching. But I do want to say, I do believe Chris and Katie watch this stuff, and I think they're going to be eyeballing me until they know where I'm at and what I'm doing when I get there. I think they're going to be watching and eyeballing me, and I just want to let you guys know, those attorneys are going to be starting to get expensive. Trust me, Chris, you're going to have some problems here. And I am serious. See, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I like to travel. I do like to travel, you know? And I am looking for something I can put Bullhorn Betty on the side of, you know? Something that I can work in and sleep in and travel. Maybe you don't know. I'm going to be traveling all of 2025. And just like I told BJ in the Leilani Simon case, look around, because everything you see, you know, you love, you own is about to be gone. All of it. Bye. BJ laughed at me in the face, didn't she? You guys remember that? She laughed at me. And what happened? The RV went. A couple of cars went. Next thing you know, the house went. So, you know, I'm willing to make a deal on that RV. I actually would like that RV. I'd like that RV, but I am going to reduce the cost of that RV because I believe that RV was used in the commission of a crime. So we're going to have to ding it, you know, just like houses. When you have houses that are involved in acts of crime, they're no longer worth the value that they once were. So Chris, Katie, when you start getting hard up and you're looking at that bank account and you're looking, nobody's going to hire your sorry booties, call Bullhorn Betty. I got a little bit of money. I'm willing to make a deal with you. I'm willing to make a deal. Let me know. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you. Happy Manic Monday away. Right now we're rolling into Tuesday. Pretty soon it's going to be hump day, and then we're going to be sliding into the week for the beautiful weekend. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. And this is a big shout out to the fact that you can be part of media and you can be an activist. And you can be successful at both for the idiots in the back. God bless.